Hey, Yulia, welcome back. We have
Hey,
another episode today.
yes, finally.
Yeah, finally. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we did our last one? I think about 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
2 weeks?
Hmm?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Yeah, is it 2 weeks?
I think 3 weeks. Or
Really?
maybe 2 weeks.
No,
No, 2
come
weeks. No,
on.
yes, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks.
But I will say in that time, I came across some old photos that I thought I lost from actually my father and what he used to do with his work. And when I sent the photo to you, you said, "Oh, we should talk about that on the podcast."
Yeah.
Because there's quite a story behind it. Well, quite a story. Interesting photos. Not everybody would have a photo like this.
No.
That's quite for sure. Actually, there's two photos, and they're both signed and autographed by the people involved. And they are actually of the Apollo 11 moon landing and of the three astronauts that were on that trip.
Yes.
So Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and the third guy always escapes my memory. I can't remember his name. That's terrible. I'll look it up and I'll put it into the
Okay.
I'll put it into the
picture.
video.
Yeah.
But the story behind that photo, how we got actually, it's also a personal photo as well. So there's one that says, "To John Balju, thanks for a memorable stay and for a great time." And John Balju obviously was my father. And this was a photo that they had signed from, I'm guessing, the late 60s,
Yes.
early 70s, when they were on a tour as a celebration of the moon landing. They were in Australia at the time, and
What they do in Australia? Do you remember?
no,
that?
I can't remember. I don't
No?
think I was even born, Julia.
No, that's right. You have not been born.
And
But
if I was probably still in my nappies.
no, you was not. Maybe okay. I
No,
don't-
when
wait,
they came to Australia, I mean,
Wait, the moon landing was in 66.
right? It was your year.
Yes, it was the year I was born,
Yeah,
or was 65? No, 66.
no, 66. I think. Yeah,
66.
yeah.
Oh my God, we should before we make the podcast anyway. We know now the dates anyway.
Quickly
You know.
check.
No,
No,
it's
look,
it.
I think it was late 60s, mid to
Yes.
late 60s.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. The picture is in which year?
I don't
the-
know. I don't know when
not
they were
there?
in
It's
Australia.
not,
No, I don't think it's dated.
the date
I
there?
don't think it's dated. But I do know that after that they did that moon landing, that they went on a world tour. Right?
Yes.
They were celebrities. They were huge. It was a massive
Yes,
deal.
of course,
Right? First
they
men
was
on the moon.
I think the more important persons in
Yeah,
the world in that moment.
exactly.
They was the stars, like stars, like it was a mixture between a star and actor and
Yeah.
very famous person. Probably it's like in that moment. Just they was the stars.
Yeah, yeah.
There was not many people, or maybe good football players and this kind of people, not like today.
Not like
that
today, right? Yeah.
every idiot can be a star. Sorry. It's true.
Celebrities in their own
Yeah,
mind.
celebrities in I don't know, in a match. Yeah.
Yes, but these guys were pretty special. They were very brave for what they actually had done.
Of course.
You can imagine how they must have felt. However, and for all of those people that say it was all just a hoax anyway, they never really landed. I'm pretty sure that we went to the moon. I mean, just my personal feeling says we did go. I don't think it was a
It was
hoax.
a fake.
I don't think
from
it
the
was fake.
Americans.
I don't think it was fake. But anyway, maybe it was. Who knows? Irrespective of that, they were in Australia. And the reason why my father met them and how he got to know them was because my father was a hotelier and he was the general manager of the hotel that they were staying at for their tour in Sydney. And I think they had a function on or an event at the hotel as well. And they obviously got to meet my father got to meet them and probably spend quite a bit of time with them. And as a way of saying thank you, they gave him two autographed photos. One with that famous photo with Neil on the moon, and the three of them signed it. And then there's another one where it's the three of them sitting in a portrait photo, and that's where they write a little note. I'll take a photo of it and put it into the video so people can see it.
Yes, please do that, because they are very, very nice pictures.
Yeah, they are. And as I said to you, I thought I'd lost them. I thought they were gone.
You cannot lose something.
No, I know. I was really thinking to myself for so many years, what happened to those photos? What happened to those photos? Because I have really a very vague memory of seeing them the last time. And I think it was probably the last time that I remember seeing them was when we were still living in Australia before we moved to Asia. And we left Australia in 2006. So I thought during the move to Asia, or then from Asia to here, that they'd been lost. Or not only lost, they'd actually perhaps even pinched, because they're pretty special. And anyway, I was recently up at my ex's place, and we were clearing out some old things, and lo and behold, there was a whole box of old stuff from me there that she'd said to me, oh yeah, that's a whole bunch of stuff that's probably yours. So I started going through it, and it was all old photos, family photos that again I thought I'd lost. And then right at the bottom were these 2 photos from the astronauts, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. They're there. They're here. We have them. I really thought they were gone. So I was super, super excited. So now one of them is hanging here, as you've seen, and the other one I have to get repaired because the frame is still intact, but there's no glass over the picture. And I think that's something I need to find now is someone that can restore old photos without damaging them, if that's possible. Because of the signatures on them, and even the signatures are starting to fade. They're that old. I mean, you've got to remember, this is over 50 years ago now, right? Yeah. So I think the ink on is starting to go. Neil Armstrong's signature is very strong, but the other 2, especially on that one, the smaller photo, is quite weak. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to obviously then keep them and hang them up, or hang that second one up as well. But
yes, you can put it together here at home in
it was
special place, because they are special pictures.
Yeah, right. I mean, how many people can say they've got autographed photos from the guys on the moon? And not only they're both autographed, but one of them has a personal message to my father as well. Yeah, which is pretty special. With your name. Well, with his name, but
yes, but your family name.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing.
Yes. It is.
So I was so excited to see them.
Do you remember your father, what he was telling something?
He hardly ever spoke about those things. No, he was, for him it was work. Normal. It was his job. And he, at the time, in that time in Australia, that was pretty much, I think there was only 2 real 5-star hotels in Australia at the time. The first one was called the Siebel Townhouse, which was in Sydney. I think it was the Siebel, or was it the Menzies? I can't remember. It's going back a long, long time. But anyway, there was only 1 or 2 hotels that had I guess you could say, a luxury kind of branding to them that were considered 5-star. And then my dad was a part of the opening team for the Wentworth Hotel in Sydney, which is still there today. It's now a Sofitel, which is owned by Accor. And he opened that hotel, and then after about a year of opening, he became the GM. And he was the GM there for, I think the hotel opened in 1966, maybe, 65 or 66. And then he was the GM right up until 1982. So he was there quite a long time. And because it was it was a pretty famous hotel in the 60s and 70s, all of the celebrities and famous people that would go to Australia basically staying at that hotel. It was either that one or the Siebel Townhouse, which is the other one I mentioned. And Dad's hotel was a much bigger hotel. It had I think 400 rooms. I hope I get that right. I can't really remember. But it was a big hotel, and the other one was very small. And I think the bigger celebrities, I think, probably felt the bigger hotel was more, I don't know, private, secure. I don't know what to say, but he had the Queen there. The royal family visited, so he held a function and met the Queen. We have photos of that too.
With the Queen as well?
Yeah, but don't ask me where those photos are. I think my mother still has them, because when those photos came, my grandmother was a monarch crazy woman. She loved the Queen. She was besotted by the Queen, especially the Queen Mother. So when my mother and my father got to meet the Queen, of course, she was crazy. So they had these photos made as well of that time, that moment. And my grandmother had them, but I don't know where they are now. I think my mother has them in Australia still. So yeah, he met the Queen. Who else did he meet? He's met numerous politicians from Australia, obviously, because a lot of them would be there. A lot of actors and celebrities. He even met the Pope at the time in the 70s.
Amazing.
The Pope was there and gave him the Pope medallion of the time, which I still
You
have,
told me, yeah.
which I actually found
Yes,
as
yes,
well.
yes, yes.
So that I brought back with me. There's
Which Pope? Do you know that?
I can't remember. It was the Pope from the 70s. So whoever that guy was, I'm not sure. My mother would know if I was to ask
I
her.
think
She would
it
know.
was Dominic.
Could be. I have no idea. I'm not religious. I don't know.
I think one Pope have been very long there, but I don't know exactly. I don't know. Or
Yep.
12? Pio 12?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
We can check. Again, we'll check, and I'll pop it
Yes.
into the video.
Yes, you.
But yeah, so he was he had quite a lot of interesting stories. He met a lot of famous people. A lot of politicians of the day would go and would eat at the restaurant there, and I'm sure a lot of deals were probably done at the time as well. Then I know Bob Hawke, who was a former prime minister of the country before he was prime minister, when he was leader of there was a big union at the time in Australia. Was it the ACLU or something union? I can't remember. My memory's shot. Anyway, Bob Hawke was there, and he was always a bit of an interesting character. He liked to drink. And the Premier of New South Wales, Neville Wran, used to spend a lot of time there. And I think, my mother used to always say she could write a hell of a book that would have a lot of interesting stories about some people. Of course, she never did. But and if she did, or if they did, it would have to be anonymous, because there was a lot of stuff that my father was privy to or saw. But yeah, he was very, very respectful of people's privacy too. Like he never spoke about it. He never bragged about it. He didn't make a big deal of it. It was just for him.
I think normally
that was his job.
You cannot speak too much about the cast you have in the hotels, because it's like a private sphere.
That's right. That's right.
I think you cannot tell too much.
No.
About the people staying there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he was speaking with your mother.
For sure.
Because inside the family, everyone say things that they don't say outside.
That's right.
That is the family. For that is the family.
Yeah.
Too,
Yeah.
to take that kind of information.
Yeah.
And still be there. And don't go out. But it's incredible, because when I think too in the Moon London, when I saw that, I was maybe, I don't know exactly, but maybe I was 4 years old or something like that. I remember my father, because, it was Franco time. This thing means in the dictator, we didn't get too much information from USA, right? And then my father went to New York and to Washington, D.C., and he still longer been there, maybe 2 months. And when he was coming back, he brings many, many, many things. And one of the things he brought was a Super 8 video machine, video camera, and a lot of videos filmed. One of the films was the Moon London.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and then I remember, because, I come from Spain, from a very, very little village. In that moment, I think we should be 50 neighbors. That's all, it was middle of the nowhere. And then my house was in this village, one of the biggest house, and so that the people was coming, and my father tell all the people in the village they can come in to watch something that he brought from USA, and everyone was like, oh,
And they didn't know what it was. He didn't say.
No, it's
wow.
it's very difficult. The old people, that they don't know that is to use a telephone, because we spoke the other day that in my little village was not telephone. The first telephone have been 3 kilometers far away with a centralita, with
the
you wanted to call someone.
Switch,
and I think the first telephone I had at home, I think I was maybe 10 years old or 9. How you explain people, they never saw a telephone and they never saw a TV, that someone was in the moon. It's very difficult, So then I don't know how it was, but the people, I remember the face. I remember my father in the big wall in the living room, and all the people sitting around. Maybe, I don't know how many people was there, but maybe 50 persons or 40.
So basically the whole village.
Yeah, basically everyone was there. And then, it was like a party, but my father was that kind of person. He makes always very strange things and very funny things.
Oh, I think it would have been amazing.
Yes, it was. And then, the people was coming, and I remember the face from the people, like, nobody knows it exactly. And my father tried to explain. I don't remember already if it was with voice. I don't think so. I think they had not voices.
Okay. So it's just the video, just the visual.
I think it was just visual, but
no
I don't
audio.
know. I don't know exactly. I don't think that they record voices in that moment. I don't know exactly. But I remember the people was like, my father tried to explain, and and this is in my thoughts, and my father was he was pilot, and this is the reason he has a lot of connection always with the himmel, with the sky, and everything's happened over there.
Yeah.
And he always tell me that if we think we are alone in this world, we are very stupid.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Universum, he said we are very stupid.
Yeah, but where did your dad get that video from? I mean, you said in the United States, but how did he get his hands on it? Because that would have been back then, I think, very difficult to get something like that, or not?
From I think in that moment in the airports they had not control. There was not so the control like we have it now,
Yeah, but where did he get the film?
In America.
Yeah, but where? How?
Oof.
Do you know? No?
I don't know. I have no idea because I don't know, but my father had a cousin in Washington.
Oh, okay.
By the way, this cousin was disappeared. He
disappeared?
Yeah. He disappeared.
Disappeared.
Nobody knows. I think he has been killed because he had some information. Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yes. It's like in a movie. And he was working in the Pentagon.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't know exactly what he was doing there. And yes, my father got the film.
So maybe the cousin gave it to him, and when they found out, they disappeared him.
I think it was something else, but I don't want to tell that now.
He probably gave them some secret recording or something.
No, I don't think so. But my father said always close the doors, when we was watching the film.
So what was the response from the people that were watching it in the village? How did they react to it?
You cannot imagine, but the people in my village in that moment, even if we was very, very primitive, living in the very primitive conditions, the people there, they was amazing all, because there was more or less 4 or 5 houses with the owners or the young or the men in the houses. They were like my father. Everyone had a genetic, and they were like artists or dreamers or people. They are not try to be with you like the other ones, like the most of the people is.
Yeah.
And they were all in his way very strange but very open-minded. And this is the reason my village was really funny. And all my girlfriends now in the village, from the village that I don't see since I don't know how many years. Okay, I see them because I have a house there, and then I visit there, or we still be friends, of course, because we enjoy a lot together in that moment. And they are all a huge women as well. It's incredible, but all of them are very special persons. They are not. I don't know if it was the village makes the people special or the synergy that we had there.
I think it's the people that make the village special.
And I don't know, and the genetic maybe that we had, I don't know, but they was nice houses and nice persons, and very funny, because I had an uncle was coming from Venezuela, was living there, making the Americas in Venezuela. It's been money, and he bring all what he had there in the village and make a huge house as well, with more or less maybe I don't know, but I think more than 100 hectares rounded the house, and then with a huge pool, and they have a very big playroom, with billiard and darts and music and everything. Oh, you cannot imagine which parties we did there, And he was an uncle from me, and my aunt. I didn't know that people so much. I know it after they arrive in the village. We know wearing the guajiras. You can't believe my mother was coming from. My mother was born in Guinea, and then my mother was living in Guinea. Was living in Cartagena, in south of Spain, in Madrid. She was not from there as well. And she bring a very special flair in the little village, And she said always when she decided to live in there, to go living in the village, she has, because my father's job, he was always traveling a lot and goes to many expositions.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot of parties. I think my parents, they would spend all the money in the parties because they always make parties everywhere, And she has a wonderful and lovely dresses inside, in silk, and in a very nice georgette, and very expensive shoes from Janko, and and many two coats from Christian Dior in that moment, And when she went to that village, she tell me, I didn't see that, but she tell me she knows. She know it in that moment. I will stay here for a long, long, long time, and the parties they are over. It's like my life is changed up now. And what she did, you cannot imagine. But she makes a huge mountain full from clothes and all these things. She has expensive ones, and put it fire and burning everyone.
Wow, that's quite extreme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she said, "He's speaking my new life in the village."
Wow.
Yeah, and he put the hair like that and was working in the land. Yeah.
Wow.
And this is my mother too. She was too very special person. She still is. She's still alive. And very young. Yep. And very young.
Yep.
Very young in the mind and in the body as well.
Yes. Well, I've seen photos of your mother. She looks amazing for her age. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
It's like really unbelievable.
Yes.
She looks like a woman in her 50s.
Yes, I know. But we are going one day to talk about this secret.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is the secret from my mother.
Yes.
We are going to make a podcast because of that secret.
Yes. What I also wanted to mention was because when we spoke about the photos, you also told me when you were a child that your father owned a castle.
Yeah.
And that you just showed me the picture of that, which again we'll put into the video so people can see it. So tell us the story behind that, because again, it's a little unique. Not everybody has access to a castle, especially as a child, because that's when you could do it. So how did your father get the idea to have a castle or buy a castle? I mean,
it's very easy to get a castle in that moment because for he was easy because he was managed in that moment the money from somebody else.
Okay.
And my father was working in immobilian and all these things. He has that job
real
as well.
estate.
Real estate,
Yeah.
And he was managed the fortune from someone called Conde Ladrón. Conde Ladrón.
Okay.
He was like, Conde is like, how call it Conde in English? Conde is like a lord.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay. Conde, C-O-N-D-E.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like a lord or something.
Oh, like a lord. So like royalty.
Yeah, it's a royalty. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So
and your father was managing the finances for these people.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then he had a problem, like many lords in that moment. He likes to drink a lot, you know.
I don't think that's changed.
You couldn't speak with. He calls Moncho. I know him. I know it him. You couldn't speak with Moncho after 12 o'clock in the morning because he was completely drunk, you know. And so he needs always a lot of money, a lot of cash, and he was the son. So from he has the uncle from him was the Lord, and he has no children. And people say that he was a son from him, but I don't know. But he was the only one, the herbe, the only.
He was the only one that could inherit
the only one
the
who
estate.
could inherit all these properties and all this. And it was not just a castle; it was a castle, another house, 40 hectares there, 200 hectares there.
So a bunch of properties.
A lot, and very, very expensive ones, and very good ones. So, and one day he was calling my father and say, "Listen, I need money very, very quickly, very quickly." So, and my father said, "I don't know how we can do it." And my father was talking to somebody else, and he said, "Hey, listen, Moncho needs a lot of money. Why we don't buy the castle from Doiras? Because this castle is about 60 kilometers far away from my house, you know? So, and the castle is amazing. You will see the pictures. It's like unbelievable."
How old was it? When was it built?
From
Do you remember?
from the at the end from the 40 Jahrhundert, 13 years, yes, middle age.
Wow.
Yes. And so in that moment, my father decided then to use the possibility to buy the castle for less money because he need cash. And yes, he buy the castle, and they bought another 2 apartments on the beach in the north from Spain, in the north from my country. So, and my father said that when he went in the castle, Moncho doesn't know it. It was many things there inside. He took home as well, and in the apartments too. There was a lot of many old things. There was someone put it all the things there, and the old owner didn't know it. And then my father said to him, "Moncho, what we do with the things?" And say, "Take it, like try to sell, take it. You do what you want. Give me the money, give me the cash." So, and this was that. And I remember in my house, in a room, we have my child house is very big, and we have a room just for these things my father was collecting over the years, because he was collecting many things and sell weapons, weapons and confiscate weapons from the war, civil war, weapons from the Spain, from very old weapons too, and things.
And these were all weapons that were in the castle.
Yes, most of them were in the castle. My father had another ones too.
So they must have been quite old as well, huh?
A lot of in the castle was more rustum. You know how is the rustum?
The
armadura.
Armor.
Yeah. 1 or 2. Then many things for hunting.
Yeah.
Many things for hunting. I remember the arcs.
The archery, bow and arrows.
Seats, some seat for sitting and hunting and shot, what I remember. I have that. I have that in my flat now. Okay, my house still be there. Two big lights from a Spanish galleon, a very old one. You know, very very old one. I repair it and I have it there, a light from the ship. You know,
Wow.
from a galleon,
From a ship. And it still works?
Yes, because I repair it.
Wow.
I repair it. And then, I don't know, a lot of pulver, spring stuff.
Gunpowder. Gunpowder.
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Box,
me.
3 or 4 boxes. You could put the dynamite in the paper and put it in the.
And where's that dynamite now?
No, we don't know it.
Okay.
I think before my father separated from my mother, he sold many things. And
Okay,
got
good.
many
So you don't
things
have it
to
anymore. So
No,
it's
no,
not going to
no.
blow your house
No,
up
I
or
don't have
anything.
it anymore. And I think it was illegal to have it there.
Yeah, I'm sure it probably
But
would have been.
we don't care. You know, my father doesn't care that things we have many illegal things in the house, I'm sure. But it was just collecting, you know, not to do something with that.
Yeah.
And and I remember that he has a lot of coins, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you are little, you think the period coins, they are very big and no. The coins from that moment, from the Mexicans galleons,
Very small.
they was very small in gold, but very small one. I remember that. Huge many things. Okay, and then he bought that castle, and that castle was in our own visits. Own.
You owned it. Yeah,
Yes.
your father bought it from the Lord.
Yes,
Yeah.
from the Lord,
Right.
and I think we have that maybe 8 or 10 years longer.
Wow.
Yes, and then he sold it, and because he bought that not alone with another person, and the other person was always like, Manolo, what we are doing with all these kind of stones there, and we should sell that property, and the other makes a little bit pressure to my father, and
Yeah.
someone was coming from Madrid and was very smart and was seeing to the castle and say, I can buy your castle, I give you some money, and they decide to sell it again. They won a lot of money as well because, but it could be better if they still have it today, because it could be amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure it could be.
Yeah.
Probably turn it into a hotel or something, like
Yes.
a luxury.
Yes, I think I had a lot of ideas to do there. But I was playing there. I was sleeping there. We was grilling there. And because 20 years before my father was buy it, was habitable, was living people there.
Okay, so it was people actually lived in it. Yeah.
Yes, but after that, it was really a very disaster. I think some people was coming maybe inside. We changed the door. And the curious things is, you know, the castle is like every castle if the people is going to see on the top, on the mountain, of course,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But there we have always water,
Yeah.
always. And I was very impressive. For me, it was very impressive to understand how is the water coming
Up. Yeah.
in that,
In those days, they didn't have pumps, did they?
yeah, and they is this oil from the vasos comunicantes. You know, you take water. It's called aljibe. It's like a little pool in the kitchen. You know, and you take water and full it. Take
Yeah.
water and full it.
Yeah.
And we had all the time water there, and
Wow.
electricity. It was broken, but
Yeah.
we had electricity as well.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of parties there, sleeping there.
How many rooms was it? Can you remember?
Oof. You have in the castle you have 2 towers. You know the castles,
Wow.
the middle age castle, they have 2
Yeah.
towers,
Yeah.
and then it's a
A
wall
wall. Yeah.
around close the towers.
Yeah.
Right. Normally in the middle you have the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You come in inside, and in the middle you have the animals, and you can go over. You know, over crossing from one another and from down. So, and in one towel, if I'm sure I want 2 rooms, and I think another little one, and in the other towel, in the big one, it was kitchen and the aljibe and the water, and then the rooms too over there, over.
And did it have like a big dining area, big dining room?
You don't. Yes, in the round. But I think the round part was for more for sleeping.
Okay.
I don't know. Remember now, in which size was the sleep? There was like two sleeping rooms. Very strange. Not very strange, but normally in that moment, the people was sleeping in the wall because it was cold. People was sleeping in the wall, not outside the wall. Like you are building a wall and you put in the wall like a nicho, like something, like a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you close this hole.
And that's where people slept.
Yeah, because it's cold. This is and all the fenster, the windows, they are very little because it's cold.
Yeah.
But very strategic.
Yeah.
You can see everything, and the castle has a 40 hectares.
Wow.
Country around and a river, a little
and
river.
a river.
Like in
God,
the
sounds amazing.
like in the movies.
Wow,
Exactly.
amazing.
And when I say the people that I had a castle or I was playing in a castle for a long time, and the people is very interesting because nobody say nothing. Like the people say, huh? And doesn't care. And when I sometimes I think, how many people had a castle for the
for sure
14th century? Begin the 15th century was playing there, making parties there. How many people? Tell me with their hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know anyone now
but
other than
it's
you.
just not to be arrogant. It's just to
No.
It's something happened in my
It's
life.
unique. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unique. Now I can see that, and that moment for me was normal because my father was always making crazy things.
Yeah.
And
Your father sounds like he was quite a character.
He was very crazy.
Yeah.
But very funny.
Yeah, I think he would have been very funny. A lot of fun. I would have liked to have met him. But I think my father.
You will be very good friends.
Yeah, I think I would have really. Everything you've told me about him just makes me think, wow, he must have been a really great guy, a really amazing guy.
I just can tell you one nice thing because of someone. I had my official first boyfriend, right, Fernando. I met him, I think I was 16 years old or something like that. And he came to me. He was coming from south of Spain. We met each other in Madrid, and I was living in north of Spain. And after 1 year, we were together, more or less. Then he came to visit us in north of Spain, and he still be there because he want to make some practical works because he's a dentist.
Okay.
Now he's like a chirurg, dentist.
A dental surgeon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he, in that moment, he was studying, making practice. I don't know exactly. And the mother sent to him, I said, look if you can in Lugo find a practice. To do it and
a practice.
Yeah, and a practice.
A dental practice.
One cousin from my father was a dentist, and he could be there like for 3 months in the summertime working, learning, and he was living at home with us.
Uh-huh.
So I had that boyfriend at all, and so he was at home for 3 months or 2 months. I don't remember exactly. We were so young, and then he was one day speaking with him and tell him with me. And he'd ask him or tell him, Fernando, look, you are in that moment happened something at home, in my home. I cannot tell now what's happened there, but something very heavy, right? Mm-hmm. If somebody as well is staying there, maybe it's when say, I don't stay here longer, I go,
right. Yeah.
But it was something very, very bad. Mm-hmm. So, and he still be there like man, and he was a young boy, and my father he said, wow, you are amazing, you are like I like you. And he said to him, Fernando, I just want that now, even if you never goes longer to be with my daughter, you are my friend and you are always welcome. And after many years, I still have contact with Fernando because we have family together. Like my nephew is the son from best friend from Fernando. This is the reason I always know from Fernando. Fernando knows from me.
Yeah.
So, and when my father died, he knows it. I think from my nephew, from Alberto, and he called me in Germany, and I was flying to visit my father in the Leiche house
In the morgue.
Yeah, in the morgue. I was
in the
flying,
funeral home.
Yes, and I was flying to the morgue, and he was before me there, and he said to me one day before, said to me, Julia, I know the father is died. I go to visit him, and he was driving maybe 100 kilometers, and I said, Fernando, you don't know it? Say, yes, I go, and he was the first person. He was there to say my father bye, my first boyfriend. You know, this is how I tell you that he was somebody special who.
Yeah, he had an impact on people's lives. He's one of those people.
I want to tell that. In a good way.
I'm sure. He sounds like he was an amazing guy. Yeah, I think also knowing what my father was like. And maybe my father was probably a bit older than yours, but I think if they would have known each other, they probably would have also quite liked each other. Because my father liked to, party. He liked to have social gatherings. Like he was always doing that as well with people in his circle, and he always was bringing people together and having parties and that type of thing. So I think from characters, it's probably very similar type of guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I think so. But anyway, I think if my father could see the picture from the Apollo 11, he would be very, very knife, and he was
jealous.
He was very jealous, and I'm very proud. Like yes, because he was really very proud of this moon landing, and
I think many people
was
were.
Very special. And for us, we live that moment with the Super 8 at home.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to do, what he did, to put that on for the village, because otherwise they would have never have seen something like that, And just for him to think, I'm going to get that film, bring it from America, and we're going to play it for the village. I mean, that's a great thing to do. It really is. I would love to have seen the people's faces when they saw it for the first time. They must have been like, holy shit, is this real? Like, where is he? He's where? He's on the moon, It's like, no, really?
Yes.
It must have been incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This was the nice stories that we have to tell today. And
indeed. So we'll wrap it up, hey?
Yeah.
Good. Short one today. Well,
so
short one.
We have more stories. We are going to tell more stories because I think they are funny.
Yeah. Well, we should talk more about our fathers too, because I think my father himself had a very colourful life. Period. Like from the time that he was born, basically, he had a very up and down life, turbulent, good. Yeah, very interesting times, and I think your father as well may have had some interesting times. My father the same.
Yeah,
so we should do a session.
Up and down up many times, we
I've got
living that too.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
You take maybe probably is that one reason, because you are self-ständig, because you are autonomous. Working
self-employed.
Self-employed, and I was too, and I still be. Because when you are living with someone who always was like, good moments, bad moments, and you know how to go out, to go up again from that, you lose the fear.
Yeah.
To begin or to start a new project.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I always was seeing new projects, new idea, and always very, yes, it's going to be amazing.
Very enthusiastic.
Yeah, I'm very enthusiastic, and this is the reason I never had fear to make my own business and to do my own things, and I did it in a country like Germany.
Yeah.
And I cannot speak the German language so good,
Oh, you
better
do.
than English.
You speak German very well.
Much better than English. But I told you I'm 80% person in German from what I am, like you maybe too.
Yeah.
But we was we can say we get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
You
we
know?
get that from our fathers for sure.
No,
Yeah.
and we get it to the successful in you're in your way and me in my way from a foreign country to come in here and to do something. It's not easy.
No, it's not. But we've already kind of spoken
But
about
we
that.
yes, but we did it. We did it, you know.
Yeah, very true.
And we're still doing too.
And we're still going.
Yeah.
We're still
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
They're not going to, the war and COVID and all of that's not going to stop us now. We'll keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it is a shit. It's not getting any better either, is it?
It's a shit. Today I was thinking a lot about the word I have in my another. I think it's going to be a long problem.
Yeah.
And the world is going to change.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Putin is so very, very smart, good strateg that he knows exactly
I think he does too.
what he's going to do. But he knows that we are all, he had all of us taking for the X.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yes,
I think he's very strategic.
Exactly. You know, he begins all these kind of things maybe begins with Trump, and because Trump was against the globalization, you know, the
Globalization, yeah.
and he put all the troops and all the things away from Europe, like say, hey, do it by yourself.
Yeah.
He was right, because he said, you know, I think in the NATO, all the countries, I think Germany is paying 1%, and America was paying 4.8 something percent. And he said, I don't pay for all of you. You can, you know.
Yeah.
And he knows that now, you know. He destabilized, you know, destabilized the help countries, you know, and he used it now. He used it exactly now, the moment to... And he knows it.
Yeah,
I think he's not crazy. He's very, very smart.
But the whole, I mean, I was actually just watching a video before you came today about the political changes in Ukraine from basically from 2005 onwards. There's been a lot of political, I guess you could say, uprisings and changes, and a lot of those things that happened have also influenced what's happening today. So what's happened in the Ukraine over the last, say, 15 years has also, I think, contributed to what's going on today. It's very interesting. Let's not get too much into it now because we could talk for hours on that one. But I think we should watch what's happening there and just hope that it doesn't escalate any further than it has. And that it starts to get better.
Yes.
I'm just worried and sorry for all of the innocent people that get affected by it. That's the only, as always with these things, it's always the innocent people that suffer the most.
Yes.
And the children. Anyway, good.
So.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Bye.
We catch up again sometime soon. Okay.
Yes.
Ciao.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.